This is the day that the Lord has made, that we may rejoice and be glad in it. And what a joy for us to see the end of the year 2020. God has been so good. And today's word, we'll be talking about the birth of John the Baptist. Allow me to read just a few verses from the book of Luke chapter 1 from verse 57. When it was time for Elizabeth to have a baby, she gave birth to a son. Her neighbors and relatives heard that the Lord had shown her great mercy, and they shared her joy. On the 8th day, they came to circumcise the child, and they were going to name him after his father Zachariah. But his mother spoke up and said, "No, he is to be called John." He said to her, "There is no one among your relatives who has that name." Then they made signs to his father to find out what he would like to name the child. He asked for a writing tablet, and to everyone's astonishment, he wrote, "His name is John." Immediately his mouth was opened, and his tongue was loosed, and he began to speak, praising God. We all know the story about the birth and the conception of John the Baptist. We find this man who was told that he was going to have a son, and he was in disbelief. And he was told, "You're going to see the birth of your son, and until the time he is born, that is when you shall be able to speak again." And now we find the woman is giving birth. And now the women ask, "What are we going to name this son?" And he said, "John." And then they consult the father, and the father writes, "John." And notice this, that this man was supposed to give up the name on the 8th day or during circumcision. Now circumcision represents a new covenant and a new beginning. I don't know what you had doubted in your life. I don't know what God had said would happen in your life, and you were not able to believe it. But here is what God is telling us today. Regardless whether we doubted, that God is still able to do it. We are going to enter into a new covenant. We are going to have a new beginning in our lives, because he who called us is faithful. It is not our effort, but because of what God has said. And for the sake of his own name, for the sake of his name, he is going to do it. We are going to enter into that season of a new covenant. The same way, when this boy was given a name and got into a new covenant, that is what God is going to do for us. We are going to receive new names. We are going to enter into a new covenant, because he who called us is faithful. He who decreed a thing to happen in our lives, it will definitely happen. It is not by our power nor by might. And who can decree a thing and it comes to pass if the Lord hasn't allowed it? Our God is faithful, and is making us enter into a new covenant. God bless you. Have a fruitful day, and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.